We are in the middle of an epic snowstorm in St. Louis, and I'm going to share with you how I keep constant color throughout the year here, and how I like to curate my collections, how I like to pre-plan for making sure that I have constant color. But the most important part is making sure that I save money while doing this. And then from there, I kind of know about how many containers and looks that I'm going to do with tulips and daffodils and paper whites and amaryllis bulbs, hyacinths, you name it. And from there, I start to go in, look at how many bulbs I need to plant. And from there, I go in and I start searching for bulbs. I search for the cheapest bulb, but with the best quality. I typically don't use too many vendors. I will, however, use the big box stores to get my bulbs, because sometimes when I have a look that I'm trying to get together, going into the big box stores, I end up coming up with a look and then actually saving money had I went the traditional route. So first, let's head to our fridge where we start the cooling process. Here's the bulbs that we're going to be pulling out of our mini fridge here. Now, what we're going to do, because we're not pulling everything, we're just pulling the ones in this container. So, in these containers like this right here, and these are all tulips. We're just going to take our tulips and we're just going to set them on a heat mat. And so the reason why we're using a heat mat is because now you want to start to heat the soil up. But if you look at these containers with our tulip bulbs in here, the soil is dry. It's actually falling over. It's so dry. So we want to go ahead and give them some watering. So let's go prep. We used our Maxi Crop. I've talked about that before. It's a seaweed fertilizer. It is going to be a wonderful organic alternative for fertilizer for you to use with your spring bulbs in order to wake them up. Now, this is my inside secret. This is my secret to how I constantly have blooms, how I consistently get them to bloom early. So let's go ahead and water these babies in. So I just go ahead. I put the water in here and I saturate each container. We have these all watered in. I'll let the tulip bulbs take up as much water as they can tolerate. Then I'll come back, I'll drain out the water that's inside of this container here, because one thing for sure, you do not want to let your bulbs sit in water. We're going to start some sweet pea seeds now. I am going to soak them. You can soak them in regular water, but I'm going to use a seaweed fertilizer here. Before we can do anything, I forgot to grab the seeds. All right, picked up the seeds. Now we'll go ahead, get these in. One thing to keep in mind with your sweet peas, when you soak your sweet peas, remember that if you stay in an area that's wet, has a lot of humidity, you are increasing your chances of your sweet pea seed rotting out. So we're only going to give them just a small little bit of soak. I typically don't have issues with sweet pea seeds germinating, but I do like to soak them in a little bit of seaweed fertilizer, and that's going to be because where we're going to be growing these sweet peas on it. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we have about 15 seeds per packet. And this is what they look like. Let me get them out here. What your sweet pea seeds look like, just round. Some people will go in and they'll nick the side of the seed. We're not going to do that. We're just going to go ahead and get these soaked in. Now for the ones that float or eventually don't sink to the bottom, I don't plant those up. Some people do, some people don't. I will go ahead and just pull them out. We're going to be using this 40 count tray because the amount of sweet peas that I want to start. Also not going to use any seed starter mix. So I want to run to the store and actually get an actual bag of potting soil. So while these soak, just make a real quick run to Home Depot and grab some soil. Home Depot keeps soil on the inside. And so that way we don't have to worry about thawing the soil out or anything like that. We'll go down this way and see what soil they have. And we don't need a very big bag, but I don't want to get a small bag like that and then end up needing some more soil later. So we'll just go with this bag right here. Is it open? Because I don't want an open bag of soil. It looks like it's closed, so we'll take this one. And actually, let's see, because I really just need plain potting soil, not nothing indoor, just plain soil. Let's see, moisture control, potting mix. Our options are slim, so we'll actually go with this right here. And it's lighter and it's drier. With our sweet peas, we're not going to be putting the sweet peas on top of a heat mat, but I'm going to show you how we're going to put them into their spot where they're going to germinate at. It shouldn't take long for your sweet peas to germinate. The package is calling for, let's see, package is calling for 10 to 20 days for germination. So let's go ahead and get them where they're going to be. I did make sure that I wet my seed starting mix from up underneath, and then I let all of the water be taken up with my seed starting mix. And actually it's not even seed starting mix, it's regular soil, but I let the water be taken up, and then from there I went over and just sprayed them lightly at the top. I didn't want it to be soaky wet, because with your sweet peas, they're going to have a tendency to want to rot out if they stay too moist. One of the things that I like about the seed trays that I use is if I notice that I'm starting to get too much condensation on the inside, I can just turn it. So it's perfect for my sweet peas. Again, because of how many sweet peas I'm going to be germinating, then that is why I'm starting this set in the 40 count. We'll just set these here on this shelf right here. And I'm going to just put this right here beside it. Here's the light on, but for these seeds, we're going to turn the light off and they'll be fine. Grab one of these. Since I did not label my sweet peas, I'll just take my seed packet and just put it right here so I'll know which one it is. And then once I get ready to move to the next step, I'll go ahead and I'll pop a label inside of them.